Hey, what is up guys? I'm KBHD here, and this is a MacBook Air. Now, if I didn't tell you what year or model it was, you wouldn't really exactly know, because on the outside, this is pretty much exactly the same as the previous year's model. But they dropped a lot of changes on the inside that make it a lot better. Now, Apple's not the only one to do this. A lot of other manufacturers have dropped Haswell chips in the latest generation of existing laptops and made them about 1,000 times better by doing so. But this is it. This is Apple's new machine. So without any further ado, it's time to give the full review treatment to the 2013 MacBook Air. And the first thing you'll notice is that literally everything on the outside of this laptop is exactly the same as the outside of the 2012 MacBook Air. It's the same design, same display, same thinness, same ports, same hinge, same backlit keyboard even. Everything's the same. The one thing that changed to be able to identify the new Air over the old one is that microphone. So now there's a dual microphone port on the left-hand side. All the other ports, however, on this MacBook Air are the same. The design has basically remained unchanged. Now that's not necessarily a bad thing, considering the 2012 MacBook Air design isn't exactly bad. A lot of people love it, but a lot of people were hoping, like me, that the Retina display would come to this new machine, a really high-resolution display. Unfortunately, Apple just refuses to make a Retina MacBook Air anytime soon. They're basically too busy protecting their Retina MacBook Pro lineup, which sucks, but that's just Apple. So here we are with a 1440 by 900 panel, which isn't bad at all, but if you're coming from using a device with a really high pixel density, you're absolutely going to notice pixels. But outside of that, this is still a pretty great laptop display, pretty standard, with decent brightness and colors and viewing angles, the whole nine. I just wish it was at least 1080p. Whatever, so the outside of this machine is the same as the old one. So what's changed? Well, the story here is Haswell. This machine you're looking at here comes with carrying Intel's 4th generation Core i7 Haswell CPU clocked at 1.7 gigahertz with the Intel HD 5000 graphics inside, and this is really the only reason to buy this machine over any other one. Now, Haswell CPUs have a seriously impressive power and heat management system that essentially double battery life. Now, the MacBook Air was already mostly battery on the inside. It's got a battery slightly larger than a lot of other Ultrabooks, measuring in at 7,150 milliamp hours. It's pretty much the entire bottom of the machine these days. But with the new Haswell CPUs, they're estimated to last 12 hours of use on a single charge straight through. That is actual all-day battery life computing with this 13-inch model. With heavy gaming or graphics work or even some video editing, which this machine can actually handle, you'll see that life shift down to about 5 or 6 hours on a charge straight through. But lighter, not so intensive stuff, this machine will just keep going. It's estimated sometimes past 14 hours of battery remaining for me. So that's freaking awesome for a laptop. Now, there's also the 11-inch Haswell MacBook Air that my buddy Austin over at Duncan33303 is reviewing, so I'll link his review down below that like button if you want to check it out. But that 11-inch Air is supposed to get 9 hours on a charge as well. So you can thank Haswell for literally changing the way we use laptops because of that massive heat improvement. So thanks, Intel. Now, you would think with all these power conservations, this performance would drop through the floor. Well, not so. Again, Intel to the rescue. These clock speeds are already pretty solid. Like we said, this is the 1.7 gigahertz model, and it benchmarks pretty well, somewhere between the latest Mac Mini and the latest iMac, which is nice. So everyday performance is still snappy, quick, and efficient, which you would expect out of a laptop of this price. And there are also some other internal improvements that make that possible. First of all, an 802.11 AC Wi-Fi receiver is now in there for faster available wireless speeds, and a PCI-based SSD, delivering significantly faster read and write speeds from the disk when compared to SATA-based SSDs of the older models. So you're going to get silly fast opening and closing of apps and reading and writing of data. All that's going to happen at blazing fast speeds thanks to that PCI-based SSD. So all in all, it just made too much sense for Apple. Apple is known for incremental improvements, and this is just the perfect incremental improvement for the MacBook Air for them. Keep the same design, the same body, same materials, same manufacturing process, but drop some Intel innovation in there with some, PCI-based SSDs and some other minor improvements and reap the profits, because everyone loves 12 hours of battery. That is the main headliner for this machine, and I love it too. So it's almost as if Apple has delivered an extended version of the 2012 MacBook Air, where you get almost the same user experience, but it just lasts for much, much longer on this new machine. You're going to get a very friendly machine as well, with again that big glass trackpad, the all-metal construction, the solid build quality, all the things you would expect out of a premium notebook over $1,000. you pretty much get it with the MacBook Air. You can put Windows on it if you want. You won't get the same performance and you won't get quite the same battery life, but it'll still last a pretty long time like a BIOS. Overall, it's a very friendly machine. I am a fan of the PCI-based SSDs. It's something I've always really wanted in a mobile machine, and now we got it. So yeah, at the end of the day, this is basically, in classic Apple style, the same machine as the previous generation with some minor tweaks inside, but that one minor tweak being the chip ends up making a huge difference. Now, in terms of who would buy this machine and who shouldn't, I personally can't quite stay with this machine because of one thing, and that's the display. The display is 1440 by 900 on a 13-inch display, which is fine. That's ordinarily great for most people, but coming from using a 2560 by 1600 display in the Retina MacBook Air, I can't do it. I can't switch to being able to see pixels where I usually couldn't. So I'm going to keep sticking with the Retina display MacBooks, and I'm probably going to be upgrading to the Haswell Retina MacBook Pro, the 13-inch, when that comes out, because that seems like a logical upgrade for me because my eyes are so used to a Retina display. But either way, let me know. What would you pick? Would you pick a Retina MacBook Pro, or would you rather have seen a Retina MacBook Air? Or maybe would you get this regular MacBook Air? Let me know down in the comment section right below that like button. Either way, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.